Aries.
Hello Aries, this is your December forecast 2014, and we're looking at a beautiful first 2 weeks of December. So many things now really opening up the door for you, and these are things that you've been working for, but suddenly it's like somebody opened up something because it's seemingly it's going to come very easily, like just falling into your lap. But nothing comes freely. It is because you've worked hard for it. And let me just outline these things that you can expect right now. First of all, we have Saturn now leaving your 8th house, where you've been working really hard to see how you can work your shared resources, either that with your partner or any one-on-one business that you have. It's like Saturn now has completed its journey by December 24th to create this package now in a sound way for you, so you know more where you stand, what it is you want and what you don't want. And so this is going to lift. It's also going to lift away from the area of intimacy, which might have felt a little blocked from time to time. And it's only because Saturn has rings, you know, so it's not really, or hasn't really been perhaps as open and flowing as at other times, but that's coming back to you now. So that's from December 24th. But here, top of the month, Aries, we have Mars and Saturn. They're working together. They're sextiling. Mars is your drive, and Saturn has to do with your foundation, your security, the things that you master, and the goals that you have that you really want to put some good structure and roots to. So you're starting off December 1st, feeling that your work mode is honing together here, maybe also with good news, because Mars is in your career house and Saturn is finalizing now that 8th house. So it's coming now with good news for you. Especially be aware of December 4th as Venus and Jupiter, Venus ruling love, all those things that you desire, and money, of course. Venus rules money. And then Jupiter is the planet of abundance. It gives when it gives freely, it gives big and generously. So they're trining, meaning they're doing the dance. It's a perfect, it's the golden aspect that we have. This is December 4th. So news here this day of something opening up, and not just that, but it's opening with a shift that's come to be, because the Sun, which is you, that's your essence, and then Uranus, which is the planet of surprise that can change things just like that overnight. When Uranus has great aspects, we love Uranus because he's the one that gets us up and out of the old rut and into new things. It separates us from the old as we launch upon and embark upon new paths. So December 4th is looking awesome, followed up here by December 5th with more news coming in. So this could be a conversation, it could be a phone call, it could be an email, or a face-to-face that pertains to this very change that is happening, or it could just be you now sharing it out with the world as Mercury communicates the change, right? And December 12th, there is more news coming in. Mercury rules communication, but also written, stipulated documents and so forth. And it is doing the golden trine aspect to Jupiter. Once again, more abundance coming in. And the 14th, the Sun and Jupiter are meeting. So as you can see, from top of the month, straight through December 14th, here we go. You might have heard news a few days earlier. Here we come. It's landing in your hand as the Sun also, the Sun being you, Jupiter, the great giver and abundance, in your hand on the 14th. So just to top that off with Venus, which rules money and love and romance, is also sextiling Neptune, which is your hopes, dreams, visions. It's what you're always constantly yearning for on that higher level, the higher scale of Venus. So for straight 2 weeks, one thing after the other, you're just going to start floating through, finally finding that surf. And then, ironically enough, on the 15th, we have that square, which is going to be exact between Uranus and Pluto. And we've gone through this square like 4 times earlier, and it has denoted a lot of change for many of you Arians, just because Uranus is in your sign. And so there has been a lot of disruption. And you know exactly what I'm saying here because you've lived through it. Pluto has wanted to come in and transform you. It's been shunting some of you straight off the highway here. And so, you know, now you're starting to look at harvest time. So it's coming in, breaking you through this final square, meaning you won't see the square again for years and years and years to come, if ever. You know, well, you probably will if you're young enough, but Uranus really moves slowly, and so does Pluto. So as it's announcing this final breakthrough, you can see how the gifts already have been coming, you know, on the first 2 weeks. And these are the gifts that are coming now after all the hard labor. So I think, you know, for now, in this last square, even for those of you who still might have a little push come to shove to do still, you know, celebrate the release, because this is a release aspect. It's tried to release you on the 4 other squares we had, straight from 13 straight through 14. So hold a release party celebration, because the universe always knows what it's doing here for you. And I see here on the 20th, there's still another change coming up. This is Venus this time. Here, scoring off on Uranus. So we're looking at, where do I want my love to go? Where do I want my money to go? Should it go here or there? Because so many things have come in so quickly. And some decision needs to be made, I feel, just because not only is Venus squaring up to Uranus, but it's conjuncting that Pluto. So if you've had some talks either with a significant other here on the 15th, you know, it might intensify here between the 15th. On the 20th, definitely, a lot of passion, a lot of sparks, for better or worse. A good Venus-Pluto has a lot of passion in there, and that can always be a beautiful thing. But if it's here connected to the square of Pluto, we might have money talks coming up, which you might not actually see eye to eye, but be forewarned so that actually you can deal with it, you know, when you're expecting this to come, so that you have a little bit more of your answers readily at hand. Because this can go straight from the 20th to the 24th. There's still another little challenge there when it comes to communication. I feel it's still dealing with the very same issue that came up here between the 15th and 20th. And of course, we're right ahead of Christmas, so maybe some of these talks might go on what kind of presents to buy, what's the price tag, how much do we give here, how much do we give there. That could be a part of it. Not saying it's all of it, but Pluto can be a little intense too, because as Mercury's squaring Uranus, it's also conjuncting Pluto. So our communication can become very intense. Pluto's all about intensity, and Uranus is like that. Just like, don't want to be here, not participating in this argument. So there's a little to do, but you know what? Go with the grace. Go with the blessings, because the first half of the month was beautiful. If you could take that, surf that wave, you will get through this trying week. We're coming towards the end of the month here, December 26th, which is really good. It's going to patch up a lot of things. We have Sun and Neptune, which is you and your ideal thought, hopes, wishes, and so forth, coming together here for you. And we're also looking at the new moon that slipped in here on December 21st. Now for you, this new moon is going to be the 9th house, the area of spirituality, wanting to reach for higher consciousness. It's also the area of publications. So, you know, we want to put down our intentions that we want to expend more time here in searching the higher realities, but also maybe thinking that it would be nice to spend more time traveling in this coming year. It's going to be a full year before the new moon can give you this energy that we have here. But let's just backtrack a little bit, because here as we start off December, you've got the Sun, Mercury, Venus in the ninth house, plus the new moon will come there. And so for those of you who write, this might be a fantastic time to find the right publishing house, for example, or for those of you who are going to present something, give talks, speeches. There's a lot of wisdom here in the ninth house. This is also a perfect time to do so. And also for those of you traveling, it's the travel house too. So yeah, the full moon this month here at Aries, it's going to be in Gemini. This will be in your third house for communication. Great time to reach out to those you need to have specific talks with, especially with anything that has to do with documents to be signed, or also giving talks, presentations. Publishing houses, like I said, because you got the new moon up there later in the month. So between the third and the ninth house, this is where you can convey those things that you need to share. So then we also have Saturn, like I said, moving out of Scorpio. For you, out of that eighth house that has to do with banks and mortgages and insurance companies and inheritances, all that you've been working on. Now, that's moving out December 24th. We have Uranus, which is going to go direct. It's been retrograde for the last 5 months. And in your area of the first house, so your personality here, you've had a little time off to kind of think about where you're heading, what you're wanting to change up, what is the new you, and shedding the old you, which Uranus will do when it's in the first house. So now you can start seeing this bubbly, crisp personality coming up to the surface here from December 22nd and onwards, at least for another 7 months before he goes retrograde again. And then last but not least, your Jupiter. Jupiter has been direct now for a while in your house of love and romance and creative projects, self-expression, you know, especially for those of you that have your own business. You might have felt there has been an ongoing expansion in this area. Some of you of the younger generation, you've become mothers or parents here now with Jupiter in this place, or have become pregnant. But now Jupiter is stepping back from December 9th to April 9th. But it's not a difficult planet to have retrograde, because Jupiter is so giving, it's abundant. Even when she's moving backwards, she's still the giver of all this goodness and luxury and whatnot, those things that you deserve. So what I see many times when Jupiter does go retrograde, that good opportunities that were in the past that might have been that might have slid by because you were so busy focusing in a different direction, those opportunities may come back to you. So keep your eye on that horizon between now and April, and there could still be some very good opportunities coming your way. So listen, Aries, this is what we have for you in December. I wish you the very, very best, and I'm really excited to see what it's going to do for you the first 14 days. That's a little bit tricky the last half of the month, but even that, I feel that you're still surfing this beautiful wave of the first 2 weeks, all right? And the rest, well, I can't really see your personal chart from where I sit. We can always check that at some point. But do go and listen to your partner's chart and see what's going on with him or her. And, as always, your moon and your rising sign. And I'll see you next month. Have a good one now.